a very good day to you, and I'd just like to welcome you to this short video. My name is Dr. Simon Wade. I'm known as the Webinar GP, and I'm the founder and host of Webinars for GPs. So I've been running live and interactive CME webinars. So it's GP online GP CPD as web-based seminars or CME webinars. I've been doing that since weekly since January 2013, and our next CPD webinar for GPs and nurses is on Wednesday the 29th of April, 8 p.m. British summertime. Dr. Mark Reynolds, who's Medical Director of Integrated Care 24, IC24, he will be presenting on telephone consulting, how to make it successful, what are the pitfalls and risks, and how can we minimize those. So the session's been rescheduled from, originally it was going to be on Thursday the 2nd of April. We had to reschedule it just due to unforeseen circumstances, so apologies for any inconvenience caused if you were hoping to attend on the 2nd, but I do hope you'll attend on Wednesday the 29th. So online GP CPD delivered as CME webinars, so continuing medical education as webinars. So Dr. Reynolds will be exploring and discussing the learning and observations on what makes a telephone consultation successful and some common traps to avoid. He's had the privilege of having audited and assessed and scored colleagues' recordings, telephone consultation recordings and notes, both routine and after a complaint or a significant event. And he's been doing that, he's had the privilege of doing that for over 20 years. So the learning outcomes from this CME webinar, this online GP CPD, are firstly an overall approach that's likely to be successful when you're doing telephone triage or telephone consulting. So an overall approach that's likely to be successful. Secondly, understanding the audit process of how telephone consultations are audited. Thirdly, how to maximize your scores with the audit and how that in turn will make you more successful and have safer telephone consultations. Fourthly, some of the common traps in telephone consulting Mark will be covering. And fifthly, minimizing the risk of a complaint. Obviously, that's important. We want these telephone consultations to be helpful for the patients, but also we want to be protecting ourselves and we want to minimize the risk of a complaint that can often be very stressful. So the webinar is equivalent of 1 CPD credit. And remember, if you can show impact, then you can double that up to 2 CPD credits. So a little bit about Dr. Mark Reynolds. He's an MBE as well as MRCGP, and Mark is the Medical Director of IC24, and he's been Chairman of the National Association of GP Co-operatives and of Urgent Health UK. He has a long-standing interest in the telephone consultation, which he described, when done well, as a thing of beauty. He's run many workshops on telephone consulting, and he's assessed thousands of recordings over his career. And he was involved in the design of the Department of Health and Royal College of GPs out-of-hours audit toolkit. So when you register for this webinar, you'll be emailed a unique set of login details. If you can't make the live webinar, remember, as long as you've registered, you'll receive an email within 48 hours of the live training with a link to access the recording at your leisure. So I really hope you'll join us and that you'll enjoy the webinar. Remember, it's Wednesday the 29th of April, 8 p.m. British summer time, when we'll have our next online GP CPD as a CME webinar, and I really hope you'll try it out. If you're not an IC24 clinician doing sessions or salaried with IC24 as a doctor or nurse or paramedic, that all the colleagues who work for IC24 get access to the webinars for free. You might be a paid subscriber, and obviously you get access to the webinars if you're a paid subscriber. If you're not in either of those groups, you can access the webinar for a one-off fee, a small investment. Go to the page www.webinarsforgps.com, all letters, no numbers, webinarsforgps.com/next-CPD- webinar-gps-nurses. You'll see a link on the page. If you're looking at this on YouTube, there's a link on the page for that site where you can register, and for a small investment you can attend the webinar. And even better, you can take a £10 trial for a whole month of live webinars and the recordings. So if you're on the registration page for the webinar, that I've just given you the URL, webinars-for gps.com/next-CPD-webinar-gps-nurses. If you're on that page, scroll right down. You can pay for a one-off with the yellow button. If you scroll further down, you'll see the big orange button where you can do a £10 trial for 30 days, which I think is amazing value. Why do we make it a sort of no-brainer and amazing value? Well, it's so that if you've never been on a webinar, you get to try it out for a cost that is, you know, ridiculously good value, because I'm keen for you to try it out. I know that once you do, you will see that CME webinars are the smart, modern way to collect your GP CPD. You can do your online GP from the comfort of your own home. So it's quality CPD made easy. I'm obviously biased. I'm the founder and host of Webinars for GPs. People are calling me the Webinar GP, but I'm completely sold on it because I know how good it is for getting our work-life integration that much better. You're a busy GP or nurse practitioner. If you're watching this, I'm a GP, and I know how difficult it can be to get the right work-life integration, and that's why I set up the webinars, and that's why I'm so passionate about helping colleagues with their work-life integration. So I hope you'll join us. Have a look at the description if you're watching this on YouTube, and see you very soon. Bye for now.